Hello everybody, what is up? If you have clicked on this video, you're probably planning for a Ladakh ride on a rented bike or some type of a long ride on a rented bike. So this will be very useful because we're going to talk about 5 things that you'll need to keep in mind before or during renting a bike, which will make your overall experience way better and make your ride way safer. So let's get started. So for number 1, we're going to start with the basics. Carry your own helmet. This is very important because you don't know the history of the helmet that they're going to give you. You don't know if it's taken a fall before, you don't know how many people have used it before. So carry your own helmet so that you are responsible for your own hygiene and protection. At this point, I do need to mention that you might be in a situation where you're just traveling and you're not 100% sure if you want to rent a bike or not. You should be able to find it for a couple of $100 in any bike accessory store or also online. I pick it up from both places, so I do have a couple of links in the description that you can use to buy it if you want to, so check them out. Number 2, choosing the right type of bike. This is a subjective term again. We all know that every bike is made for something, but at the same time, if you are a rider enough, you can actually do anything with any bike, at least in most cases. But if it's the first time you're visiting a place and you don't know what to expect and you're more focused on exploring the place and living the moment in that place, you might want to just take a moment and think about what type of things you're going to be putting that bike through, which will give you an idea about which bike to rent. If 80 or 90% of your travel is going to be on highways or tarmac, you can stick to a sports tourer or a street bike and you can still be good. But if you're going to a place like Ladakh or any off-road location, you might want to consider something which was made for adventure touring or off-roading. It'll just make your overall experience better and you'll just have one less thing to worry about when you're riding. Number 3, renting the bike. On this day, there's a couple of things you need to check even before you start the ride. Firstly, so that you are confident about the machine that you're riding. And secondly, so that you are able to eliminate most of the things that can go wrong during a ride. Not very difficult, there's just 3 things I need you to check. First, when was the last time the bike was serviced? Second, the life of your brake pads. And third, the condition of your tires. Now, there's 100 things that can go wrong when you're on a ride, but making sure that these 3 things are done well and are in good condition will make sure you got most of the aspects covered. If you think that the renting person is not sure what he's talking about, or if you're not very confident about his responses, it is okay. Take the bike out and show it to some other mechanic. If they say that there is something that needs to be replaced or taken care of, go ahead and do it. Spending a little bit of more money at this point will avoid a lot of headache during your ride. Number 4, the factory toolkit. If you don't have an assembled toolkit already, this is the basics that you will need to travel with. If you don't have one on the bike, check with the renting agency. They should be able to provide one, but make sure that you have the factory toolkit in the bike when you take it out. Please remember, if you have a breakdown somewhere, it's an easy fix and you don't have the tools or a mechanic around, you can't just stop any bike and expect their toolkit to work, because if it's a different type of bike, the type of tools will also be different and might not match the mechanics of your bike. So keep the factory toolkit with you. It will just give you that much more confidence that if you have any small issues during your ride, you can take care of it yourself. And when you're checking on that, don't really worry about the medical kit that comes with the bike. It is okay if you don't have that, because if you're on a long ride, the factory medical kit or the first aid kit will not be enough anyways. If you're traveling long journeys, either on the bike or off the bike, you should have a first aid kit of yourself. If you don't have one yet, I have made a video about assembling your own first aid kit. I'll put that at the end of the video. Check it out. In like 300 or 400 rupees, you can make a proper first aid kit, which should be good for most of the situations. And lastly, number 5, be ready to clean and lube the chain of the bike. If you're renting the bike for anything more than 500 kilometers or anything more than a day, you should have a chain cleaning and lubing kit with you. If you're going to be covering very large distances every day, just lube it every 500 to 600 kilometers whenever you take a break, or if the distance is not too much and the chain gets too dirty, just clean it and lube it at the end of every day or the beginning of the following day. It will just put you in a situation where you have one less thing to worry about. And I say this also to be fair, because a lot of times it happens that we don't take care of some things that we should, and the bike goes bad and we blame it on the renting agency. That's not very fair as well. So let's be a sport. So that is all I had for today. If you think it was useful, drop a like on the video, subscribe to my channel. If you know more people who might be interested, share the video with them. And here is a couple of videos that you can check out right now. Firstly, like we discussed before, a video about assembling your own first aid kit. And secondly, a riding gloves kit that I use, which I can use for all seasons, for summers, winters and rains, assembled for less than 500 rupees. So if you are interested, go right ahead and check them out. I will see you in the next video.